Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Home and Creativity with Monique. This first clip that you see here is just some clips of my first planting of corn. So I was just showing you this to let you know if you're new and you haven't watched, I do have some previous videos about growing corn in buckets and also updates on how that turned out. I'm just planting more corn for a fall crop, and this time I will be planting some Blue Lake pole beans along with the corn. I heard of this thing called Three Sisters planting. That's when I believe Native Americans, they planted corn, beans, and squash together, and it kind of all three plants together benefits each other for the nutrients of some sort. But I won't be planting like all three together. I only want to try to plant like my corn and beans together, and I will be planting my corn and beans in buckets. So these are the buckets of my first harvest of corn. So what you see here is I'm going to still use the soil that my first harvest of corn was planted in, and I'm just going to take the stalks out and all the roots that I can take out, and I'm going to amend the soil with black cow manure and bone and blood meal as well. Showing again how I broke down the stalks of the old corn, and I do plan to double the amount of corn from the first time I planted. I think the first time I planted about 11 buckets of corn with 2 stalks per bucket, so that was about 22 stalks of corn. So I will be planting about 20 to 22 buckets of corn this time, 2 corn stalks per bucket, and also with the pole beans as well, planted with the corn inside the buckets. So just once again, I'm just amending that soil, trying to get it some nutrients back in that soil so that I can reuse it again. These are some of the vegetables that I planted from seed. I believe these were planted, I think, the last week of June, and a lot of them didn't germinate or pull through, so I will have to plant more seeds. So the ones that are ready, my corn especially, I will be planting the corn in these buckets, and as you can see, I've already dug like 2 holes on each side, and that's where I will place my corn at, the ones that are ready. The corn that you already see in the buckets, I've transplanted those from my backyard to these buckets, so those are the ones that you see that's already in the bucket. So I'm just placing the baby corns that you see out of those seed trays and placing them into the buckets, and just hoping that, you know, I have a second round of corn and hope that everything works out. These are the seed trays that didn't germinate. So what I want to do is pour the soil out of these seed trays, just to see what, you know, went wrong or what happened with the seeds. I've already did one of my corn trays, and that's right there. Those are just corn seeds that I'm going to replant. But the corn seed tray that I've already dumped out, I see that the corn, some of the corn rotted, and they got like real soft and mushy, and they didn't germinate. So if you notice that it's been past 2 weeks, it will pass the germination stage of whichever vegetable or plant that you're growing. You may want to you know, just check and see what happened with the seed and why it didn't germinate, because if you wait for too long, then, you know, nothing still won't happen, and you could miss an opportunity to go ahead and just replant. So it's just best to, you know, after that timeline of, you know, when that plant was supposed to germinate, you know, just pour that soil out and just to see what, you know, what happened with the seeds. Like this is one of the bean seeds, and it just rotted or disintegrated into the soil, so it never made it. So I'm glad that I pulled those seed trays to see what happened, and I will be replanting more corn and more beans back into the seed trays, and hopefully that they will a second time progress and grow for me. Alright, in this box here I will be planting some peanuts. Peanuts is a favorite snack of mine, and not only do I like to eat roasted peanuts, but I also love to eat the green boiled peanuts. I know this kind of peanut is called the Georgia peanut, so I never grew peanuts before, and you know, just because I love peanuts, I want to grow my own peanuts and, you know, just see how that turns out for me. And most of everything that you see me planting besides my raised bed is going to be in a container or a box. So far you've seen me plant things inside of swimming pools and buckets, pots, and boxes. You know, just as long as, like for your plastic containers, just as long as you make sure you look at the symbols of those containers to make sure that they are food safe, then you should be okay. I think any box, you can plant in any box as long as it's not lined with like chemical papers and lining and things of that nature. And I like to use the banana boxes to plant in. I get these from Sam's or Costco's whenever I go, and I like to just, you know, grab a handful of them if I see them out. Alright, so I have that planted, and these are the collard green plants that survived. I had more than this. I had them as secure as I could have them inside of the crate with the lace. There is a video for those that that are new, or if you haven't seen that video of me transferring my green and cabbage seedlings, thinning them out and transferring them so that they can, just have a better chance of growing better. I do have 2 videos on that if you would like to go back and watch that, and I'll also have those video clips down in the description below. So as you can see here, I'm just replanting those little baby collard greens. I'm hoping that nothing doesn't touch these. I'm putting them, planting them in a bucket. I'm putting it lace over the buckets with one of my little cane poles stuck down in the middle, trying to create a tent over the bucket. And I'm trying my hardest to keep insects from eating up my greens, because most of them, even though I did it with this method with the lace over them, there were still damages done to my little baby collard greens. And I'm just trying to figure out what to do. Right here, what you see are some new pickle and cucumbers that I planted a couple of weeks back, and these are watermelon plants, sugar baby watermelons. As a matter of fact, that's what these are. My zucchini plant that I planted this past spring. Of course, it was more zucchini plants than this. It was, I think I had about 5 or 6 zucchini plants planted together in this pool. All those other zucchini plants dried up and died for whatever reason, so I pulled those up. And this one was the only one that survived, so I left that one alone because it's still trying to produce for me. And as you see, I just weeded out, where the grass was at and everything. And I started me some new zucchini seeds a couple of weeks back. I would say around the same time that I did the first set of seedlings, which was towards the end of June. So I'm just taking those little baby seedlings and I'm planting those in the pool around the zucchini plant that is already existing. So I'm hoping to have a last harvest of zucchini for the fall as well. I also replanted my yellow crook neck squash, and only about 3 or 4 of those little baby plants came through for me. The other ones didn't germinate, so I'm just gonna plant what I have. And I'm also hoping to have a small fall harvest of yellow squash as well in the next couple of months. Alright, so this would be concluding towards the end of my fall planting vlog. Of course, this is not all the fall planting that I'm doing. I will be sharing more videos of me planting more things, so I'm just showing you little clips of my harvest of purple hull peas, and showing you my blackberry vine that is doing great. And this is just an overview of how things is looking so far. I will have an update on everything I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in and watching me. You all stay safe and be blessed. Until next time, God bless.